New this week from Marvel Comics, Avengers Twilight, issue number 6, the finale, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Daniel Acuna. Avengers Twilight concludes this week like the elegant last note of a Titanic symphony played by a well-trained orchestra. If you haven't been keeping up with this... Freya, I'm doing a video. You have to let go. You can't be up here right now. I'm sorry. If you haven't been keeping up with this series, you really should, because I think you like superhero comics if you clicked on this review. And if you like superhero comics, then you should see firsthand how emotionally stirring and deep and complex these characters can be when written and illustrated by experts in the field. What's more, Avengers Twilight is one of the few examples in recent memory where Marvel has treated its iconic characters' histories seriously and allowed for their futures to be explored in a way that feels meaningful. If you're confused as to what I mean by that, then I would point you to the mind-boggling number of Marvel Comics stories that involve time travel or alternate histories that are completely erased from the memories of the characters experiencing them or never heard from again. It is a tried and true narrative device that, at my point in readership in comics, feels lame and off-putting. Instead, I like to read stories that play with the sandbox of the future in a way that feels specific and earnest. A story that carries that nebulous but pervading weight of this could very well be true. I would highlight Namor, Conquered Shores, and Doctor Doom, both written by Christopher Cantwell, or Silver Surfer Black by Donny Cates, as examples of this kind of story, along with Avengers Twilight. What makes Avengers Twilight so fresh and intriguing compared to other Elseworlds comics on the market? First of all, the world of the story, a technologically dependent and controlled United States that censors its media to the point where all information regarding foreign wars is suppressed and private citizens are prohibited from even filming on their phones, all feels extremely relevant to the current context of our own society and is not as far removed as some futuristic sagas are. Additionally, this series has been legitimately surprising and has big twists and turns, and importantly, emotional stakes which are essential to engaging new readership as well as setting it apart from the traditional superhero fare that develops its narrative at a much slower pace. I feel like this series did a great job of keeping my attention throughout, avoiding the typical lull of exposition or inconsequential battles. I think this is largely due to the surprise additions to our Avengers roster throughout, as evidenced by the covers on each issue. But I also contribute the lack of issue fatigue to Chip Zdarsky's impeccable writing, which made every issue of Avengers Twilight feel like the culmination of something imperative to the story. I enjoyed that many seemingly small moments were treated like pivotal, defining centerpieces. Captain America's appeal to Miss Marvel, now a mother, to help protect the future generation from itself. Thor pulling a boat of guards and scientists that were enemies only a moment ago. Bullseye, a US soldier not being able to pull the trigger on an unarmed target. In any other story, moments like these would have passed by in favor of grander spectacle, which isn't to say Avengers Twilight is without, but I appreciate the poignant sentiment instilled by Zdarsky. I also have to say that I feel like this is some of the best Avengers art comic book fans have had in quite some time. I feel like panels from this book are going to become benchmark stills for character pages and wikis. It felt like Daniel Acuna wasted no space on any page of Avengers Twilight and gave us some quintessential classic Avengers imagery with elevated new context. And there's something so empowering yet sobering seeing old Cap do his superhero uppercuts and superhero landings. On one hand, it's like, hell yeah! I guess heroes never die. And on the other, it's like, oh man, he really shouldn't have to keep doing this. I mean, that's a grandfather. Somebody help him up. All right, let's dive deeper into issue number 6 now, which means spoilers ahead.